Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to yet another exciting, titillating, orgasmic edition of Radical Rock and Record Reviews. And I'm your host, Wyld Ryde Bassist Mick Watkins, otherwise known as Dick Twatkins. And today, guys, the time has come. The time has come. It's been a couple weeks now. This album's been out for almost a month. And that has given me plenty of time to listen to this album, to review it, to really think, how do I feel? Maybe a month later, and I'm here to give you the Dick Twatkins review of the brand new Ace Frehley solo album, the long-awaited Ace Frehley solo album. Fuck, it's been, since 2018, Spaceman, the shirt that I'm wearing. So what's that, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 6 long years waiting for an all-original Ace Frehley solo album, not counting Origins Volume 2 that came out in, 2020 during COVID and the lockdown and all that shit. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm back to give the review of this right here. Ace Frehley, 10,000 Volts. Now you take a look at this CD. This is the lenticular edition. Check it out. You look at it. You see, like, in the background, the little spaceships are shooting Ace with electricity and shit. They're shocking him. They're shooting him with 10,000 volts. This CD right here is a Walmart exclusive. And I'll tell you what, hunting this down, the fucking vinyl and the CD, it was a pain in the ass. In my opinion, Monarch Entertainment, Ace's record label, totally underestimated the Ace Frehley / Kiss fan base. I think I read online that Ace said that Walmart only ordered like 2,000 copies of this. Dude, this thing fucking sold out everywhere. This was a pain in the ass to find. The day of release, I drove around to, I think, 4 Walmarts to try to find this all over Louisville. Could not find it. Went to, where else did I go? Went to fucking Target. Went to FYE. Nothing. Couldn't even find the basic version of this. So thankfully, a buddy of mine named Forrest Day, major salute to Forrest Day. Forrest Day, I hit him up, or actually he hit me up asking me, because he ordered the whole fucking bundle, every vinyl copy, and was like, hey man, is there anything you're looking for? And I was like, dude, I got my vinyl copy right here, what I needed and what I want. I need the Walmart lenticular CD. He's like, dude, I bought a couple of them. Which is maybe why people couldn't find them. But no, I'm joking. I'm thankful that Forrest Day bought this when he found it. And I bought it from him and he sent me this copy. So thank you, Forrest Day. Fuck yeah, I got the Walmart lenticular cover right here. And I got the Ace Frehley 10,000 Volts vinyl. I haven't seen this unboxed and open, period. Except for the mock-up photo that they had on Monarch Heavy's website. This is the Spotify Fans First limited edition 180 gram green with black splatter vinyl. Now at the end of the review of this album, we'll do a vinyl unboxing, as you know I like to do. But let's get into my thoughts in 10,000 Volts. I've had about a month to live with this album, and it seems that with a lot of the Ace Frehley / Kiss fan community, this is a very divisive album, okay? It's either love it or hate it. And you're getting ready to see my exact thoughts. Do I love it? Do I hate it? Is it hit or shit? That's the question. And I'm getting ready to tell you right here, right now. Now, as we know, this album was produced and written by Ace Frehley and trickster guitar player / songwriter Steve Brown. Okay, Steve Brown. Production-wise, I think Steve Brown killed this. Ace Frehley killed this. This, in my opinion, is one of the best productions of probably any of Ace's solo material. Especially since Ace Frehley returned to his solo career in 2009 with Anomaly. This is easily the best sounding Ace Frehley album since then. Production-wise, I've kind of A-beat it against the rest of the catalog that he's released. Anomaly, Space Invader, Origins Volume 1, Spaceman, Origins Volume 2. And this album, production-wise, smokes them all. Album cover. Let's take a look at the album cover. I remember whenever I first seen the leaked photo on Facebook online, I remember seeing this and just kind of being like, ugh. And that album cover is kind of like amateurish looking. It's kind of shitty looking. I didn't like it. I thought it was kind of cheap, kind of chintzy. But then the more I got to look at it, kind of looked at it, because if you didn't know, I'm a huge fan of pinball. I love pinball. Pinball is one of my favorite hobbies. And I'm sitting there and I'm staring at this album cover. I'm like, I could totally picture this being on the back glass of an Ace Frehley pinball machine. Or better yet, I could picture this airbrushed on the side of Dick Twatkins' badass shaggin' wagon, fucking boogie bus, a cool fucking van. So you know what? While it's not Ace's best album cover, it's probably not his worst either. I mean, it's pretty cool. I do like the one that they released. It was like a online exclusive that I totally missed the pre-order on. It was just the black. It was just a black album cover with the silver Ace Frehley logo and the silver lightning bolt. I thought that album cover was way better, but I do like this better than the Walkin' on the Moon cover, and better than the Cherry Medicine album cover. So yeah, album cover wise, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's growing on me. It's growing on. Production wise, I think Ace Frehley and Stephen Brown knocked it out of the fucking park. Now let's get into the review. Track number 1. She hits me like 10,000 volts. When I saw her face, she hits me like 10,000 volts. I love her power embrace. That's how Ace sings it. Hang on, let me turn this down a little bit. But yeah, 10,000 volts. The title track kicks off with a cool kind of shock me-esque drum beat. Badass riff, starts off kicking me right in the fucking nuts, knocking my dick in the dirt. 10,000 volts, in my opinion, is one of Ace's best solo songs, and maybe even in the Kiss catalog, considering the Kiss catalog and Ace's solo stuff. I think 10,000 volts is probably one of my favorite Ace Frehley songs. This is classic Ace Frehley. Classic Ace Frehley, that riff, that it's kind of like a mixture of like Shock Me and Firehouse. Pretty badass. The chorus is infectious. Ace's vocals sound good. The little intro lead that Ace does, the solo on this, sounds really fucking good. I give it to Ace. Or was it Steve Brown that played the leads? I don't know. We got suspicions. Was it Ace or was it Steve Brown playing the leads? In my opinion, the leads on this are all Ace, because Ace has got a very signature style, kind of the way that he kind of fingers and hits the notes with his fretting hand, and even his picking hand. He's like very heavy on the hammer-ons and shit. So I suspect that the solo on this is 100% Ace. Awesome stuff. And my favorite part of this song is the bridge. It's I'm so glad I found her. I can't live without her. She's got the magic touch. And I can't get enough. I love that bridge section. To me, that is like classic sounding Kiss. That could have been off of like fucking like Love Gun or Ace's solo album or Dynasty. And I think it was PJ Farley that played bass on this track, which is the former bass player of Trickster, or he is the bass player of Trickster. And Fozzy. Not a fan of Trickster or Fozzy, but I digress. PJ Farley plays some awesome fucking bass during that bridge. He kind of does this, cool slide up on the bass. Crank your stereo up and listen to the bass during the bridge. I fucking love it. So this album kicks off, kicking all kinds of ass. 10,000 volts is classic Ace Frehley. Track number 2, Walking on the Moon. Yeah! Walking on the Moon. When this song first came out, after the awesomeness of 10,000 volts, I was like, man, this is not good. But then after a while, Walking on the Moon started to grow on me. I'm like, dude, Walking on the Moon. I started singing that chorus and getting really into it. And I'm like, dude, Walking on the Moon's pretty badass. It's a pretty cool song, So then, Walking on the Moon, yeah. So then I'm starting to the song's starting to grow on me. I'm starting to really dig it. Then all of a sudden the music video comes out, and it's like Ace Frehley apparently having a dream, and he's like on the moon, and there's like two people in the background, which I think are his girlfriend Laura's kids. They're in these shitty looking Halloween rubber alien costumes with blow up guitars, and they're just acting goofy and stupid. That music video for Walking on the Moon almost caused me to really hate this fucking song. And the music video is one of the absolute worst things I've ever seen by a kick-ass artist like Ace, and an artist that I absolutely love. Ace Frehley is one of my all-time favorite guitar players. And besides my own father, he's the reason why I started playing guitar in the beginning. Fucking love Ace. But man, that music video, whoever signed off on that, whether it be his girlfriend Laura or Steve Brown, I would definitely question their fucking opinions and their skills at this kind of work. Fuck, if I was working for Ace, I would be like, no way, Ace. Video's cool, the graphics are cool of you sitting on the moon, but we gotta cut the people in the rubber alien costumes and all that shit. Cringe as fuck. But yeah, Walk on the Moon's cool. And except for one little part. And I'm gonna open up the CD, and there is a lyric in Walking on the Moon. And I remember riding in my car the day of release, and I'm listening to that song. Oh yeah, and it does come with a badass poster. Check that, it kind of glows in the black light. That's pretty cool. But yeah, so the lyric, where's this at? Where's this lyric at? Hang on. Trying to find it. Hold on. Whatever. Anyway, the lyric, he says something about, he rhymes, girl, our love is fate. The universe has said that you're my mate. Something like that. You know what I'm talking about. Those lyrics are so cringy. I remember driving in my car. I was driving around and I just started bursting out laughing. I was like, this is ridiculous. This is horrible. And this is another thing that I wouldn't have signed off. I would be like, Ace, which ultimately Ace, it's his album and he's the deciding factor in this. But I would have been like, dude, are you sure you want to rhyme fate and mate in the same song? But regardless, Walking on the Moon is cool. So in my opinion, it's 2 for 2, 10,000 volts. Walking on the Moon kicks ass. Then we go into track number 3. I've got a cosmic heart. I can't be torn apart. No one can read my mind. I can't be hypnotized. Cosmic Heart kicks in. And this song is kind of weird and different for Ace, because it's kind of got like a creepy kind of vibe. It's a very kind of dark, kind of groovy kind of song. And it almost kind of sounds like something that Gene Simmons would sing, as opposed to Ace Frehley. It's got a very kind of dark, brooding style to it. But man, it's a badass song. I really dig Cosmic Heart. That chorus, another infectious chorus. That's one of the strong things about this album, I feel, are the strong, infectious choruses. I have got a cosmic heart. I can't be torn apart. I love that. The main riff is really cool, and then Ace goes into that kind of blistering cool lead. And once again, I'm pretty sure that is Ace. Even though before the solo, there's this quiet, subdued, spacey kind of part where he's kind of just holding out notes and letting them bend, kind of letting them ring out. Not quite sure if that's Ace, but that might be Steve Brown. But the rest of that solo, I'm pretty confident that is Ace. So you got 3. Cosmic Heart kicks ass, in my opinion. So that's 3 killer tracks right off the bat. Then we go into track number 4. I love you, cherry medicine. You're in my heart and then some. I love you, cherry medicine. Cherry medicine. Cherry medicine to me is musically, it's a cool song. Vibe, it's a cool song, even though it's not very Ace Frehley. To me, it sounds like it could be like Sum 41 or Blink 182 or Green Day, some pop punk shit from the late 90s, early 2000s. But, with that being said, this song could have been a lot better. I think it's the first dip on this album, in my opinion. It's the first time I'm like, ugh. But the song would have been better if Ace would have sang with some kind of conviction, some kind of aggression, some kind of emotion, instead of just going, I love you, cherry medicine. I mean, yeah, like you listen to the 78 solo album, you listen to Trouble Walking, you listen to all that kind of earlier Ace Frehley stuff, the rip it out, take my heart, you wanted it from the start, you got it now, so goodbye, so whip it out, I'm snow blind. He sang with this cool grit, man, this cool kind of New York grit. Totally missing from that. If I was Steve Brown producing Ace, I would have been like, dude, let's get a little bit more emotive, make it sound like you mean it, dude, as opposed to just reading off of the lyric sheet, cherry medicine. So Cherry Medicine has potential, could have been a really cool song, but it's just okay. I don't skip it. I just kind of sit there in my seat and cringe, and I think when I listen to it, I think this song could have had potential. It's not horrible, but it's the first dip, and he's otherwise, so far, pretty damn good album in my opinion. So then the album picks back up with track number 5, an Ace Frehley classic that was a demo from back in the 80s that he wrote with a dude named Arthur Stead. I think probably like 1984, 85, the Frehley's Comet demos, called Back Into My Arms Again. Now, I've been listening to that demo on YouTube for fucking years, and I've always loved it. So when I heard that Ace was recording Back Into My Arms for this album, and he was going to call it Back Into My Arms Again, I was ecstatic. And I was like, dude, I hope he can just capture the magic of that demo, because that demo was awesome. I think this is one of Ace's coolest songs he's probably ever written. And I gotta say that, dude, honestly, kind of prefer this version. I prefer the 10,000 volts version, baby. I prefer this version. I think Ace killed it. Steve Brown, what he did on this, kind of helping and coaxing Ace to re-record this. Good on you, Steve. That's awesome shit. Ace, you killed it. The vocals are killer. I love in the chorus, was it like, I'm going back, 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 into my arms again, can. You're coming back, back, back. I love the echo during that. That is so cool. Sometimes I'm kind of a production geek sometimes, and that touch or that kind of spacey echo fits this song so cool. It's very awesome. I think the solo could have been a little bit better. I think it's awesome that Ace added a solo to it, but I think the solo, Ace just kind of uses a lot of his classic Ace-isms and a lot of just stock licks and riffs that he does. I think if Ace kind of would have taken his time with that lead more and kind of actually wrote the lead out instead of just kind of jamming something, I think it could have been way better. But nonetheless, Back in My Arms Again picks up the album. Excellent song. So far, there's only really one shit sandwich in my opinion. Then you go into side B, and it kicks off with the monstrous beast known as Fighting for Life. Fighting for life. It's a dog-eat-dog world every day. Fighting for life. Fighting for life. Fighting for life. This song is fucking grade A, ass-whooping awesomeness from the Spaceman and his sidekick, Steve Brown, or Stevie Brown. Okay, Fighting for Life is fucking awesome. I love it, and it almost kind of reminds me of, really this whole album kind of reminds me of something that I haven't touched on yet. This album kind of reminds me, this album honestly could have been, the way it sounds style-wise, This album's got a very kind of 80s rock feel with the songwriting, probably coming from Steve Brown's influence, and the production. This could have like easily been the third Frehley's Comet album. And to me, Fighting for Life sounds straight up like Frehley's Comet. Like it kind of fits right in there with like Into the Night, Dancing with Danger off Second Sighting, you know, Stranger in a Strange Land, Separate. You know, even some of the songs sung by Todd Howarth, which kind of, if you think about it, Steve Brown is almost kind of like the modern day Todd Howarth. Fighting for Life is badass, dude. In my opinion, one of Ace's best songs ever, and is my second favorite song off the album, which I don't think I mentioned it. My favorite song is the title track, 10,000 Volts, and Fighting for Life is my second favorite track. It's fucking awesome. It's like modern day Frehley's Comet. Love it. Track number 7, and we're blinded by science, and we're blinded by fear. Blinded kicks in. Track number 7, and Blinded keeps the pace going with Fighting for Life. Blinded kicks ass. I love Blinded. That's a badass track. That's probably my third favorite song on 10,000 Volts. It's kind of like an anti-AI song, which, you know what? AI freaks me the fuck out, okay? Being a kid of the 80s and 90s, dude, I grew up watching Terminator and Terminator 2. I know the dangers of AI. We should all know the dangers of AI after watching that fucking movie for the last 40 years. And AI is taking over, dude. I'm calling it right now. In a couple of years, it's going to be us, the Dick Twatkins Wyld Ryde Army, the Radical Rock and Record Reviews Army, the Rock and Metal Combat Podcast Army versus AI. And hopefully Ace Frehley's like our fucking field general going, go! Kick some fucking ass. I'm gonna sit over and play my Les Paul and drink some cherry medicine. So yeah, dude, blinded. And we're blinded by science. And we're blinded by fear. There's some awesome riffage in this fucking song. I love it. Then we get into track number 8, Constantly Cute. Kind of like Cherry Medicine, I feel this song is kind of a dip on the album. But I will say that I like this song a lot better than Cherry Medicine. I think it's a badass song. The riffage is cool. I love the melody and the verse and the chorus. The solo's really cool. I just fucking hate the title, Constantly Cute. I know that's something that him and his girlfriend, fiance Laura came up with because she said that Ace is always constantly cute. Dude, that is a horrible, cringy, shitty ass song title. You're constantly cute. Girl, you're so sexy. Constantly Cute. If this song could have been called Cherry Medicine or Constantly Cute, let's call this song Girl in Pursuit, which I think he kind of says something like that. Oh, Boys in Pursuit. If you want to call this song Boys in Pursuit, talking about a hot chick or something, would have been way better. So while Constantly Cute is not a dip on the album, it kind of is, but I dig Constantly Cute. I think I'm one of the only people on this fucking planet, and probably even on Jendell, that dig Constantly Cute. It's not as bad as Cherry Medicine, but it's kind of the second song I'm kind of like, Constantly Cute has potential, and I dig it. I just hate the title. So then we go into track number 9, Life of a Stranger, which is a cover of a song that Ace heard on the soundtrack of the movie The Transporter like 20 years ago or something. Life of a Stranger, I know a lot of people either really dig this song or they hate it. I think Life of a Stranger is pretty badass. It's so un-Ace, and the production and the way that Steve and Ace kind of rewrote this song and made it Ace. It's kind of unlike Ace, but then they made it Ace. It's kind of weird. But Life of a Stranger is fucking cool to me, man. To me, it sounds more like an Ozzy Osbourne song. Or it reminds me a lot of like the 70s Aerosmith ballads, you know, like You See Me Crying, or Home Tonight, or even more off of Night in the Ruts, Mia. It's kind of got like a dark piano kind of thing. So yeah, kind of more like Ozzy Osbourne 70s ballad Aerosmith than it is Ace. But I dig the fuck of Life of a Stranger. And I think Ace's solo kicks ass. And I love the little licks that he's doing as the chorus fades out. Speaking of that, another thing that I really dig about this album is this album's totally old school to where majority of the songs end with a classic Kiss fade out. I think that's pretty fucking cool. Very rad. For somebody that's like a production geek like myself. Then it goes into track number 10, Up in the Sky. You're up in the sky, girl, I know what I saw. Up in the Sky, pretty cool. It's got that it's kind of got a riff very reminiscent of New York Groove and even George Michael's Faith, kind of. Just realized that. But yeah, Up in the Sky, another banger, dude. Another banger. I think Up in the Sky is really cool. I believe that song originally was going to be called Fact or Fiction. It says it's fact or fiction, I can't describe. Screw it, and we'll just say goodbye. Yeah, so dude, Up in the Sky is a badass tune. Very cool. And then the album ends with track number 11, Stratosphere, which is like the 9th or 10th, 11th or 12th, 13th or 14th, 15th or 16th instrumental kind of that Ace has done in the Fractured Mirrors series, even though it's not called Fractured anymore, but it's totally in line with that. Gotta say, honestly, I really don't think that's Ace playing on Stratosphere. I think that's all Steve Brown. Sounds like it just doesn't, it's like Ace's style, but somebody writing in the style of Ace Frehley. And Stevie Brown claims that Ace Frehley is one of his biggest influences other than Eddie Van Halen. So, jury's out on that one. I think that's majority Steve Brown, but regardless, hopefully that is Ace. I think Stratosphere kicks ass, and it's a great way to end this album. So in my opinion, the Dick Twatkins opinion of 10,000 Volts, do I think this album's perfect? No. It's got two kind of lesser songs. The rest of the album, I think, kicks ass and slays. I remember when this album was hitting the shelves, hitting the stores, I honestly wasn't really expecting much. Because, gotta be honest, man, Ace's live performances over the last couple of years have been in decline, dude. Ace, it's kind of heartbreaking seeing Ace play anymore, man. He just kind of acts like he doesn't give a shit, and then he boasts and brags about not practicing and stuff. Doesn't matter how long you've been playing or how much you know Ace, you've always got to fucking practice and keep your tools sharp, man. So with that being said, because I seen Ace open for Alice Cooper a couple of years ago in Nashville, dude, and it was a pretty dreadful performance by the old Space Ace, one of my biggest heroes. Gotta be honest. Love you, Ace. I love Ace. Ace can do better. Or at least I think he can. But I wasn't expecting much from this album. And I remember listening to this album, and as I was going through it for the first time, the exact phrase I was saying was, man, I am pleasantly surprised with this album. Good job, Ace. 10,000 Volts. I'd give it, out of 5 stars, I'd give it a 4-star rating. 4-star rating. High 3.5, 4-star rating. Good job, Ace and Steve Brown. So now let's do the vinyl unboxing. Here we go. This is the Spotify Fans First Limited Edition 180 gram green with black splatter vinyl. Got the Wyld Ryde Dick Twatkins signature guitar pick with my autograph on the back that you'll be able to pick up at shows very soon. So let's find the slit. You gotta lick the slit. And you gotta penetrate the slit like I've always taught you over the years here on Radical Rockin' Record Reviews. Guitar pick, penetrate the slit. It's the best way to open vinyl. And it works on CDs, just not as good. All right, so we're opening this up. Pulling the shrink wrap off. I've been holding this vinyl, waiting for this moment for you guys. It's been kind of killing me. Open it up. It's got this badass gatefold, which is the poster inside the CD edition. That's fucking killer. I love it. Now let's check out this green and black splatter vinyl. I bought green because green is my favorite color. And there's the dust sleeve, so let's check it out. I love surprises. Let's whip it out. Take my cock. You wanted it from the start. Here you go. Oh, yeah, cool. That's badass, dude. Kind of like listening to this album. The camera doesn't even do it justice. That's pretty fucking killer, dude. Spotify fans first edition. Even though I gotta say, fuck Spotify. Can't stand Spotify. It rips off artists. That's why a badass rocker and a badass like me, Wyld, why I gotta have a fucking day job. Why I can't live off music. Check that out. That's bad, dude. Love it. Alright, so yeah, that's the review of Space Invader. Now, talking to you, Steve Brown. Steve Brown's been doing interviews lately. And he's been kind of undermining my boy Ace, my man Ace. Saying that Ace didn't really do much. Ace didn't really bring much to the table. Kind of rubs me the wrong way. I want to like Steve Brown, but he comes off as kind of pompous and a little ungrateful. Dude, you got to work with a legendary fucking guitar player like Ace Frehley. And he says that all of Ace's solo output of the last 15 to 20 years is mediocre at best, with one or two good songs off each album, and that this blows away every Kiss album released since Revenge in '92. I disagree big time, Stevie. Disagree big time, because you know what? In my opinion, while I just sat here and praised 10,000 Volts, it's a damn good album. You did a good job, Steve, but it ain't a pimple on the ass of this. And in my opinion, it's not a pimple on the ass of this either. Two excellent, in my opinion, modern day classic records. But you did good. And I know Ace probably doesn't really appreciate the shit talking and the shit throwing. So, just be grateful, man, because I would love to be in your shoes, work with one of my heroes. And even if Ace didn't do much in the studio, do you gotta throw him under the bus like that? He's 72 years old. Is he the Ace of 1976, 77, 78? No. But let's just be glad and thankful that Ace is still at it and he's putting out a good record. I think Steve and Ace killed it for the most part, except for two kind of shitty songs. Constantly Cute's a great song. I love it. I just hate the title. Some of the lyrics are kind of cringe. Kind of same with Cherry Medicine. But anyway, Ace, keep kicking ass. Even though I'm not the hugest fan of cover albums, I'm looking forward to Origins Volume 3. But I kind of wish they would honestly scrap that in favor of a new Ace live album. Or, dude, with Ace, time's a ticking, dude. He's 72 years old. Let's get to working on the next all-original Ace Frehley album. Maybe have it out by 2025 or, no, shit, maybe 2026. Thank you guys for tuning in to Radical Rocket Record Reviews. Once again, this is Dick Twatkins, Wyld Ryde Bassist, otherwise, majority of the time, known as Mick Watkins. I'll see you next time, guys. Peace.